What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Movie Bits. My name is David.
And I'm Tony.
And we're coming at you with a review and reaction to episode 4 of
Loki,
which I love. This was a fantastic episode, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's get into it.
Yes, let's break this down.
Okay, so we start off with, looks like the kid version of Lady Loki, right?
Yes.
She's sitting in her little Asgardian castle, being her little princess self, playing with her little Valkyries. And
minding her business.
Minding her whole business.
Yeah.
And then these TVA agents come through this portal, arrest her for charges, for variant charges.
Just called her a variant, like they was cold-blooded. Like she was a grown person who understood the world around her. She was just a child who, I'll say, has black hair. So Sylvie apparently takes the time to go put those
highlights,
those blonde highlights in her hair. So we was like, why doesn't she have black hair? But she's a Loki. She does have black hair.
Right. So they take her through this portal. They process her through the TVA. They set this reset in her timeline. So I guess they destroy her timeline. Yeah. And I thought about how traumatizing that must be as a child. You know, like, you don't know what's going on. And it made me think about Minority Report, the same theme. It's like, how can you arrest me for crimes that I haven't committed yet? Yeah. Is that fair?
Well, you know, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, being a variant, it's really facing extreme bigotry. Like you're being discriminated against for being this thing that others have labeled you as, that you have no idea
what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So it was really interesting to see a child be processed through the agency and be handled like a criminal. Yeah, and then to see her, you know, so the TVA agent. What's the woman's name?
Which one? Ravonna?
Ravonna. You get to see that she was the original agent assigned to Sylvie's case. Right. And Sylvie goes ahead and gets away from her and steals her device and uses that device to escape the TVA, and she's been on the run ever since.
She's been on the run ever since. So I'd be upset too. You know, you destroyed my home. You took me as a child. You never explained to me what's going on. I don't know what crimes you're talking about. You labeled me a variant. So now I'm bitter about it. You must be evil. So I kind of feel Sylvie at this point. Yeah. Okay. So, we learned that the soldier that Lady Loki enchanted in discussion that she died.
C-30.
C-30. When she came back to the TVA, she lost her mind and she died. So that's the story. That's the story here.
That's the story, and they're sticking to it.
Right.
and Morbius is Mobius. I'm about to call Morpheus or whatnot.
Different movie.
Mobius is kind of, you know, taken aback by this. Like, well, she seemed fine, and he's not really 100% bought into the story of what happened with C-30.
Right. Exactly. So then we cut back to the two Lokis on the planet with the moon. In the impending doom that's about to happen.
Apocalypse is happening all
so the
around
moon is breaking apart. Huge pieces are now slamming into the planet. It becomes very clear that they're running out of time.
Yes.
So they have this conversation, this heart-to-heart. They've had a lot of these heart-to-hearts, these two Lokis. Yeah. And we already talked about it in the last episode.
Weird energy.
About this weird, like, sexual tension, this, like, love tension. Yeah. So anyway, they're talking to each other, and then they grab each other's hands. At the same time, the thing that I said would happen in the last episode, the TVA is scanning all of the timelines trying to find out where they are. But they create a Nexus event by holding hands.
Even though it's an apocalypse. Their love, their connection to each other was strong enough to create a Nexus event inside of the places that Sylvie had been hiding for over a decade, you know, for decades apparently. So that was pretty interesting.
Right. And because of their love connection, it creates this little branch, and they see that, oh, there's a nexus happening here. They must be here. And of course, what happened, they send portals, and now they can escape. But they end up in the TVA, arrested, imprisoned. Yes. And Loki gets a chance to tell Mobius that everything that you think you know is a lie. You're a variant. You have a past. You were kidnapped from your timeline, and that the what are they called? Timekeepers are evil.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
So you know, Loki, they put him in a prison that's a time loop, and we get to see Lady Sif finally come back to
Who
the
is she?
MCU.
She came up. I didn't know who she was.
She was in a. I know she was in at least the first Thor movie. I believe she was in the second Thor movie as well. She's like one of Thor's best friends, like sort of like a lieutenant of his. She ended up really being written sort of or ignored in the MCU because she ended up getting her own television show on NBC. She was the girl that had the tattoos all over her body, who like woke up and it was like a bag. She was naked in the middle of New York.
That's
it was
the same
tattoos
actress?
everywhere.
Oh, that was a good show.
Yeah.
And every tattoo hinted at some crime or something that was about to happen.
Something crazy.
All
had
the
everything
clues
to
to
do
figure
with,
out what's happening in the world was tattooed on her.
this terrorist network or organized crime all around the world. So she had landed that television
We'll put the title.
series.
We'll put the poster right here.
Yeah, you'll see it right
Yeah.
there. You'll see it right
Right.
there. But anyway, yeah. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention that this would be spoilers, but spoilers, major spoilers, all through this if you haven't figured it out by now.
Well, in post-edit, I'll go through and I'll put the stop sign, spoiler alert.
But Lady Sif is back, and it's a time loop of a moment where Loki had cut her hair. She walks out, she assaults him, punches him in the face, tells him that he will forever be alone. And then she knees him and whatnot, headbutts him, something like that, walks off. So they're
Repeatedly.
repeatedly. Loki tries to apologize to her. He has a couple emotional breakthroughs.
He admits that he's a narcissist.
And it just continues. But Sif continues to harass him and tells him
Punch
even when he
him.
admits he deserves to be alone. Good. Because you forever will be alone.
Right. Now, when she kept saying that, I'm like, okay, this is a setup already early in the episode. I'm like, this is a setup for this love connection between him and Lady Loki, which I'm like, ew, I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them together. It's weird. And Mobius actually has a conversation with Loki about that very thing, the thing that we said in the past episode. He's like, how much of a narcissist are you?
Do you have to be?
That you created this love connection, which created the nexus. That's how we found you, but it's sick. You're the same being here.
You're the
same thing
being.
I said.
Only someone as narcissistic as you could possibly fall in love with yourself. And it was exactly what David said last week when we reviewed episode 3. So it was pretty cool to see those themes come back. I'm actually more bought into it. Yeah, it's weird and it's creepy, but I'm here for it, you know?
Right.
So yeah, it was interesting.
So then Loki tries to tell Mobius, hey, we can use Lady Loki to unlock everybody's memories here, and we can help you guys. But, and of course, Mobius doesn't believe Loki because he's a Loki. You're taught to not trust the god of mischief. I mean, I wouldn't either.
Yes.
But it gets Loki to thinking. I mean, it gets Mobius to thinking about these things. Meanwhile, we have a moment where the black soldier, what's her name? B-15.
Yes.
She's standing in the hallway. She's kind of having a moment before she goes into Lady Loki's
she just
prison
seems
cell.
off, and you cut to a couple
wrong.
scenes of her seeming off, and I was like, oh yeah, she was also enchanted.
So she remembers
last
her
week,
past.
so she may have had some memories unlocked, and it is basically confirmed when B-15 tells the other TVA agents to let her into Sylvie's holding cell, and she ends up taking Sylvie to another place, and Sylvie thinks she wants a fair fight, and she confronts her. What did you do to me? Sylvie explains to her.
She takes her back to that supermarket.
In 2050. So she tells her, what did you do to me? She asked her, and she said, I didn't do anything. I cannot create memories. I can, only use what is already there. So B-15, because she tries to hold on to initially, like, the TVA created me. And Sylvie's like, no, I would not be able to create those memories. They were already there. The TVA erased your memories.
Had a life.
And brainwashed you. You had a life.
So then B-15 is like, well, show me. So she grabs her. We see this, like, enchanting.
The green energy.
And it was a really touching moment, and we love this actress. We've already said this, but she says, I looked happy, and she's like getting very emotional, like she's gonna cry. And then she asks her, "What now?" So we're like, "Oh,
that's it.
They about to mess some things up. TVA
just
going
lost
down.
One. They just lost
a good one too.
Lost a good one."
So, and then we cut to Mobius talking to Ravonna about these things. You find out that they kind of have like a love connection, almost like
Friendship connection.
A friendship connection. And Mobius, you know, presents these ideas to her. You know,
he's asking her certain questions.
And she's saying, you know, that's not it. That's not the case. You know, they're Lokis.
She lied. He questioned her about C-30, and she said that C-30 had gone insane after being enchanted and began to deteriorate, and that she died. And he keeps saying she appeared to be fine to me. And you know, that's a pretty. He insists. He keeps bringing this back up. So she tries to dead it. You know, no, that's not the case. Yada yada yada. He ends up stealing her device and kind of trying to set it up to where it could look like he forgot his while he sets her up to go get them a drink.
Right.
So anyway, he looks through her device, and he sees C-30 saying, "We're all variants. Those were memories of mine. You guys stole me, you know, from where I was."
And at the end of the clip,
we
see Ravonna walk into the frame
and look dead at the camera,
and it's like, "Oh no, Ravonna, are you in on this too, girl?"
Yeah. So Ravonna is high up in this whole conspiracy. So he goes, gets Loki. They're leaving. You know, him and Loki, as soon as they leave through the portal and come back to the
Ravonna's
TVA,
on the other side.
Ravonna's right there
waiting.
with the agents.
Because Mobius finally admits to Loki, he's like, "You're right.
You're right.
You know what I mean? We gotta stop this somehow."
And now we got to work together. So I'm looking. You know, we're looking forward to seeing, you know, Loki and Mobius and Mobius also, you know, meet up with Sylvie and B-15. You know what I mean? Like, this is our team. It's shaping up. We gotta do.
And if
you know,
C-30
cool,
is still alive, her too.
Yeah, we got a pretty cool team of 4. You know, and
like a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like I'm like, we ready. We building our team. So anyway,
then
Mobius confronts her with the fact, she asked him where would he like to go, and he said, "I would like to go to wherever it is I was
you took me
before
from.
I was basically kidnapped,
Yeah.
and put into service for the TVA." She orders him to be pruned. They immediately prune prune Mobius.
Now we kind of gagged because up until this point we had always assumed that being pruned meant that you were being killed.
And
so I kind of was like, "Oh no! How could they get rid of this character so soon?" But
I have suspected that when you are pruned, you're actually sent to a different place, and not killed. You know, and those suspicions, of course, we're talking about. But this is Owen Wilson, right? Yeah, this is Owen Wilson. So Owen Wilson, all of a sudden, you get rid of him in the 4th episode. Doesn't make sense. Now it's got my suspicion meter, you know, on super high about whether or not pruning means execution, and then that will come back to us at the end of this episode.
Right, because originally I'm like, okay, well, are they gonna go grab another Owen Wilson from a different timeline? I was like, is that it? Is he gonna come back in a different way? So, and then I also wrote down, I was like, Ravonna is such a tool.
major tool. So yeah, what happens next?
So then they get apprehended. So Loki and Lady Loki get apprehended by Ravonna, and they're on this elevator to go to the timekeepers.
The timekeepers want to see them be executed personally.
And Lady Loki asks Ravonna, "Why did you take me from my
while
timeline?"
on the elevator?
And Ravonna was like, "I don't remember."
Yes, she callously reveals she doesn't even remember.
I was like, "Wow, you ruined somebody's life!"
How this whole thing began, and you can see it on Sylvie's face. And this episode is when this actress who plays Sylvie, I began to place value in her actually playing this character. She did a great job
because visually we didn't really think she was a good choice for Lady Loki, because she looks nothing like Loki. She's not even the same height.
Exactly.
But she is a very good actress.
Yeah, it was the blonde hair thing, which was explained first scene in this episode. Yeah. But I felt like you could see how much that answer meant to Sylvie all over her face. That please, you know, have let the fact that my entire life has been turned upside down
because of you
around this entire interaction. Please tell me something that's going to make it feel, you know, that's going to qualify it, make it feel worth it to me, and for her to just reveal that she doesn't even remember.
But I mean, maybe she does. I think she was just being spiteful. Like she was just like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
So they end up in front of the timekeepers. The timekeepers exchange some words. You know, order their destruction, their pruning, and then in walks
B-15. B-15 comes in. She turns off the Loki's collars. Their collars fall off.
We have this big fight.
They begin to fight. They're knocking everybody out. Sylvie is fighting Ravonna. Sylvie gets the upper hand, knocks Ravonna unconscious. She's standing there. Her and Loki.
I was like, Ravonna's got hands though.
Got hands. A TVA agent, but Loki and Sylvie are now looking at each other. They've taken out. Every agent is down. Then they take out the timekeepers.
Yeah,
throw the sword at them.
Lady Loki throws a sword at the one sitting in the middle. It cuts his head off, and then we see sparks flying from his neck. And then the other two start laughing.
Total Wizard of Oz vibe.
Yeah, and the other two start laughing, and then they start to like shut down.
And it's clear that they're machines.
These are machines.
These
aren't even the real villains here. This is somebody else we haven't met.
There's a bigger thing going on here. I think that who's really in charge of this whole thing is Kang the Conqueror, and so I think we'll be seeing who's already been cast, and we know who is playing Kang the Conqueror. And that would be I wish we said her name last time.
Yeah, we'll put it all here.
Yeah, it would be B-15's co-star from Lovecraft Country, the star of the show. So he has been officially cast as
they get to be in the same projects together.
Kang the
That's
Conqueror.
so cool.
And I believe he'd probably be showing up in like the Fantastic Four or something. But it would be really cool to see Kang, since Kang is a villain from the future, to see Kang show up. Kang show up here. He's very timey-wimey. So I think the mastermind behind the whole thing is Kang, and Ravonna is in on the whole thing somehow.
But the even bigger question now is, if that is him, who created this whole TVA thing?
It would be Kang.
It's a massive undertaking. Like you got thousands of people here. It's like this is a whole program.
Yeah.
Who created this?
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
So that's the question. So
after they realize the timekeepers are fake, they don't know what to do. Sylvie's kind of like, I've been fighting this my whole life, and now I'm at this moment, and I don't know what to do now. Loki looks her in the eyes, is about to confess his love to her, and predictably, I knew it was coming. Predictably, Ravonna, who was only knocked unconscious, prunes Loki and stabs him in the back. And this is the moment it was confirmed for me. Pruning does not mean death. You're not going to kill Tom Hiddleston in episode 4 of his own show.
Not me. I was like, what? Is he going to die? Is she going to be the new Loki moving forward? I thought that's what it was going to be. Some type of setup to make her the new Loki moving forward.
No. So, the episode ends like that, and we sit, another beautiful, old song that they play over the credits. We're picking up more
he and I
clues.
were just chilling on our couch, just watching it.
And we get
in credit sequence. So Loki wakes up somewhere, and he asks himself, "Is this shut up?" He asks himself, "Is this hell?" And we hear a voice speaking off screen.
You're not dead,
but
said, if you don't come with us, you will be.
And guess what it reveals?
It's a team of Loki. So we've got this black Loki, old man Loki, we've got kid Loki,
and a freaking lizard.
And lizard Loki. And then that's it.
End of episode.
End of episode.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how the lizard Loki will be useful, but I guess we will see.
Yes. and I feel like, episode 4 of a 6-episode series left us how it should have left us, with more questions than answers.
Right.
Pretty good.
I loved it. So the things I liked about it, like, a meh, or a dislike. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I love that that the story moved forward. I love that we identified there's a bigger villain here that we haven't seen. So that kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger. And I love all the cameos for the different Lokis. I still don't like this whole weird relationship between Lady Loki and Loki. I think it's awkward, and we should get rid of that storyline. But hey, I'm not on the board.
I give it 2 thumbs up. I mean, I've been consistent with this show.
2 thumbs up.
I love this show. It gets 2 thumbs up because it took the show somewhere. The whole Loki-Sylvie relationship is creepy and weird, but it's also new and different and technically not incest. So...
it's something worse.
It's where it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but hey, I'm here for it. That's television.
Disney
in
is
the new
watching.
millennium.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Disney.
No.
I'm here.
Stop it.
I really liked that they took it there, that they gave you that moment where they pruned Mobius, and then they gave you that moment where they pruned Loki. I like that in episode 4 they made it all the way to the Timekeepers, and they weren't real, so there's a bigger villain, and the mystery continues. And I think it was a great episode, and it had a lot of development in it, and it moved the story forward. Here for it. 2 thumbs up. I like what you're doing, Disney.
All right, guys, and that's it. That's our latest episode of Movie Bits. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help us bring you more content more often.
Be sure to sound off in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts on the episode. If you also give it a thumbs up, a meh, or 2 thumbs up.
Let us know. All right, guys. Till next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.